Welcome back to another episode of Jacksonville Buzz's Buzzworthy Businesses. I'm Steve Strum, and sitting right next to me is Dave Permenter.
Oh, how you doing, brother?
You know, I'm good, man. So we got a cool lady over here with my name in it.
Yeah, Michelle Stevens.
What does Michelle Stevens do? What is this lady?
She owns Seven Voyageurs Travel LLC.
Yeah,
She is
almost did it.
Yeah, it's got a funky spelling, so I have to be careful the way I pronounce it.
For the people down here.
Subliminal things, but Freudian slip. No, she does luxury, extreme luxury travel. Michelle, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Yeah, so I'm Michelle Stevens, and I'm pretty new to the Jacksonville area. We moved here in 2023, and I'm a mom of 5 boys. I homeschooled homeschooled for 18 years, and was like, what am I going to do when I finish? And so I decided to become a travel agent, and after planning a lot of Disney trips and then started taking luxury vacations myself, I was like, the experience was so wonderful that I knew that this was what I wanted to provide for my clients, because I have had many wonderful experiences on these luxury cruise lines, because luxury cruises, river and ocean cruises are my specialty. That I wanted to be able to share that same experience with my clients.
5 kids, man.
5 kids, homeschooled, all boys.
Did they ever come off the payroll?
No.
I heard, we're working on that one. I mean, I've noticed that they go from full-time to part-time.
You do ocean and river.
River and ocean cruises, the luxury cruise lines. So they're going to be your smaller ships. They're going to hold less than 1,000 guests. And you get more attention from the crew members because there's less people to have to take care of. The food is amazing on the ships. The itineraries are different because these ships, the smaller ships, can go into ports that the larger ships can't go to, and a lot of times they stay overnight. So you get longer time in a destination. The river cruises are my favorite because they go through, and I've only done the ones in Europe. They do have in other countries like Africa and Vietnam, and they just started one in Colombia and the Douro River, which is in Portugal. So there are other river cruises that you can go on. But I love the river cruises because the difference in the river cruises is that you're going through the country. It's like a floating hotel. I don't know if you've ever done a multi-city vacation in Europe. But you pack your bag, you get on the train or get in the car or the bus, go to the next destination, unpack your bag, spend a couple days there, then pack it up again. Well, in a river cruise, you unpack one time. And so the ship takes you from city to city, and they pull right up to the city center, which is like the downtown kind of area. And then you just get off and you can walk out or excursions. Like with these luxury cruise lines, a lot of the cruise lines include excursions. And so you have multiple to choose from, so you can go do that, whatever you want to do.
And there's scenery left and right all the time, not in the middle of the ocean where there's nothing to see, just things to do. I lived on the Danube River for 22 years, and my wife and I have a bucket list item of doing a Danube cruise from the Black Forest to the Black Sea, its inception to its terminal point. And we will do that one day. I guess you're going to be booking it for us.
That would be awesome.
That is definitely in the life plan.
That is a good one.
When somebody is sitting here talking about stuff like this, right? So if you think about Dave's cruise of the lifetime, what's the difference that somebody gets than if Dave just goes and does it on the internet? Or if Dave uses you? Like, walk us through, like, what's the reason why people want to use you to book them besides you're fabulous? Of course, I love the name. But, like, what is that differential that was like, you know what, I have to do it with Michelle?
So, yeah, anybody can go online and book a cruise easily.
It's the internet.
It's the internet, exactly. The thing that you're not going to get is the expertise, the customer service, the little tips and tricks that I can tell you when you get into each city, because I've been to a lot of these destinations. And support, and sometimes maybe even a better price.
Oh, so better experience, more customized, tailored towards the person, and a better price is not a bad thing either, right? There's always a difference between price and value, but if you get all that value, And a better deal. Well, that's
We
okay
live
too.
busy lives, not to mention the convenience. If you're doing the work for us,
Yeah.
and I've been planning a trip for my son and I are going to a 10-day trip to Alaska in a couple months. And I have been doing it myself. It's a frustrating experience. There's so many choices, and if it's places you've never been to before, you don't know what you don't know.
Exactly.
So I get it.
Yeah, and that's
That's
one
cool,
thing
man.
that I like to mention to my clients or anyone that calls me is that, I am not here to save you money per se. I can. My job is to save you the stress and the time that goes into planning a vacation.
Well, and that time is money. Outside of this universe, I work in the financial markets, and I get that question all the time with clients. They're like, well, I could do that. I work with some really smart people, and I'm like, yeah, yes, you can. You could absolutely do this. But if you took 1 hour a week to deal with what I deal with, you add that up in a year, that's like $7,000 of your time. So you're doing a similar function for somebody to enjoy a trip where their time may be their most precious commodity that they just don't have. And, I'm also thinking about it through my own eyes that if I was left to schedule the trip, I'd probably be out on the wing of the airplane before we landed because I've got everything wrong, like everything possible. There's even things in your world that I would get wrong that I didn't even think about. So,
Exactly.
and I want to do something. I want to do something great for my wife. It's awesome, and then I try to do it and I screw it up. Whereas I can go over here and hopefully allow it to be that experience that I have envisioned in my head that I just could not articulate to the bandwidth by which you can.
I have a question. How many of your clients, more or less, come to you already knowing where they want to go versus coming to you, recommend something for us? We have this in mind, this type of trip, whether it's seasonal or water or train, whatever. How many people already know what they want to do and you just set it up versus asking you for recommendations what to do?
So it's a very low number of people that know exactly what they want. People usually come to me. They may know what country where they want to go, what type of vacation they want to take, a cruise, all inclusive, or whatever. They will know that. Sometimes they have no clue. But whenever I get a call from a client, we do a consultation call. And through that, I have some questions I ask and just kind of listen to what they're dreaming of. And then I come away with that and I create an itinerary for them with some ideas. I have multiple, sometimes if they know this is where I want to go, typically I just create an itinerary. This is what I have. But if they're not real sure, I'll have multiple options for them to look through and decide. But like if you're thinking about, if they say, I want to do a river cruise, but I don't really know which river I want to cruise on. That's when we go through that question process, find out what they like and the things that they have done in the past. And
this is a huge reason to use a service like yours, the consultative element.
Yes.
That's really good. That's fantastic. I mean, you really, and what we'll do is we'll make sure to kind of put your stuff on our website, thedailynewsnetwork.com. But, as I'm even listening to this, I'm thinking about how busy just life is, right? Between like my wife and I, we got the kids, we got this, I've got my business, she's got there, you and I do this thing here. I mean, it's just like there's almost every minute of the day is accounted for. But yet at the same time, I really don't want to disappoint the people that I would be going on vacation with. And if I can go, hey, I want to go to Egypt, right? And you're going to be like, all right, got it. Now we'll back in all the other stuff because Steve was able to say one word and you can create that one word into an experience that can really be something that is the memories that cherish on those trips.
Yes, exactly.
Very cool.
Speaking of, though, do you have a Nile River cruise?
We do.
Okay.
I just
I've had
quoted it
dinner
last
on the
week.
Nile
Yes.
on a boat.
There's a movie about that.
We
wasn't
had, we
moving.
did.
It didn't work out so good in the Nile for the movie.
Yes,
Yeah,
no,
okay.
it didn't, did it?
So, just to
The
let
ships are like those ships, though. They're beautiful. I
Yeah.
mean, they are. They're beautiful ships.
Long, flat. Long and flat. Really long.
Like, no, I can just envision my, driving down the Nile or boating, floating.
Floating.
Drifting down the Nile. That's a music song, drifting down the Nile, and like you get to literally see like the giant statues, like
Mile after mile.
down the Nile.
Yes.
All right. Well, the producer's going to give us 10% for this one, but for now, for your stuff, dailynewsnetwork.com. Love you. Can't do it without these guys. Guys, if you really want to have a really neat thing about ultra luxurious planned trips that Lady Steven's going to tell you how to do it the right way, take a look at this episode, share it if you love it. Check us out on the dailynewsnetwork.com, and remember to always live with gratitude.